Right, so welcome back YouTube. We have the running schedule. So I'm going to run you through when I get there exactly what these workouts are, why they're in place, and yeah, the benefits, etc. Will they ramp up, will they not? But first things first, to get myself ready for this session, Ghost Bubblicious flavour pre-workout, so good, and then I'll mix it with Pump. But I'll also tell you a little bit more about this when we get to the track. So let's write that in there. Luckily for me, it's not raining today like it was yesterday. So whoa, but I upgraded my batteries, didn't I? It's so good. Oh, Bubblicious. Right, and then I've got a rush, so I will meet you at the track. I'll tell you a little bit more about the workout, some other supplements, and then I'll recap after the run, the pace, etc., what the next runs are, etc. So let's go. Right, so here we are at the track. First things first is obviously supplements. You saw this morning that I had pre-workout and pump. Inside my water that I have during my workout, we have creatine, one of the most researched supplements in the world. I really like how fine this is as well. Creatine monohydrate is probably your best bet. I wouldn't really go with any of the others personally. This supplement here, one of, if not the best tasting hydration supplement I've ever tried. One of the things is, sometimes with electrolyte supplements, you can find that the more water that you put with it, the weaker it gets, whereas this stays consistent regardless of the water. So I have a scoop and a bit of this in my water. The good thing about hydration is, especially when you're doing sprinting work or running work, is you tend to obviously sweat and lose quite a bit of electrolytes. So that is a key component to making sure that you don't fatigue quickly. And then the next supplement is this supplement right here, which was what I used earlier this morning, which is Pump. I don't tend to use 2 scoops of Pump when I'm doing my weight training because I don't feel like you need it because it's that good off 1 scoop. This supplement here, Pump, this is the peach flavour. Nitric oxide helps with the blood flow, so helps open your blood vessels, helps blood pump around your body quicker. I'll have an extra scoop of this on cardio days purely because I know that I'll be working overtime in regards to my heart and blood pressure, especially with sprinting. So this will just help with loosening up my muscles, slowing down the lactic acid. Obviously, I'm not going to drink this whole thing at once. I tend to sip water when I'm running so I don't get bloated. But yeah, all of these mixed together is perfect. I actually use that same concoction when I am doing football. So if you play football, ladies and gents, that's your combo right there. Obviously, any discount on Ghost products, code BPS10 will get you 20% off. And then what I'm going to do is run you through this training block. So this is my off-season engine builder program. It's only the first 1 to 4 weeks, and then I've got something different for week 5 to 8. So I'll run you through what the week looks like. And on a Monday, it's a recovery run, 20 to 30 minutes, slow pace. There's nothing, you're not trying to set the world alight with that. You just want to keep it nice and easy. It's literally just to flush heavy legs and lactic acid out your system. And then Tuesday's work, even though it's Sunday today, I've been working, so the difference in my week will just be according to that. So on a Tuesday, we do acceleration work. So acceleration work is 6 times 20 meter sprints, followed by 4 40-meter sprints, and you'll have 90 seconds rest in between. So this is a hard effort. So obviously, them being sprints, you want to be giving this 100% max in 100% max and making sure that you recover well. This is a proper heart tester, so you'll feel this one in your chest. It's not an easy workout. Next is on a Wednesday, I'll do 6 400-meter sprints. So this is hard but sustainable. So you're looking for like a 7 out of 10 on that one, and that's a 90-second rest. And then Thursday is the long run. So the 5K I done last week was a 4:52 pace, so 24 minutes 25. The long runs aren't meant to be fast. They're not meant to be hard in a way. They're meant to just be like a 6 to 7 effort. My last run that I done this week was 6K at a 5:20 pace. And then next week will be 7K. And then the week after will be 8K. So we're just building that up. But they're not meant to be hard. And then on a Friday, I have condition work. So condition work is 10 100-meter sprints, but only 70% pace. And then you just walk back as your recovery. And then on a Saturday, it's an optional speed session. So you do 8 to 10 seconds uphill, walk down recovery, and you're going to do that 6 to 8 times. So how I would approach that is I would do 6 for week 1 and 2, and then 7 for week 3, and then 8 for week 4. So that's my running program for the next 4 weeks. Obviously, I will revisit the off-season engine builder at the end of the 4 weeks and show you week 5 to 8 because it is different. But this is super beneficial for you if you are doing any sort of off-season sport. So if you it doesn't matter what sport you play, this works for everyone. I've used this probably for the last 3 seasons, and I tend to come back the fittest when it comes to pre-season training because I've already done. So a lot of people will just take time off now and they won't bother to actually do the work until pre-season comes, and then they wonder why when pre-season comes they find that pre-season's horrible. I don't ever find pre-season horrible. I never find it overly difficult, and I feel like it's because I've been doing this for the last 3 years. So I'm gonna warm up, get some clips, and then we are gonna get into it, and then I'll come back at the end, recap what I've done, and then I will show you my calories, etc. But for my run today, I'll be using these bad boys right here. These are the Streak Fly 4s. Not them, clearly. There is another vlog coming where I will show you my amazing running shoe collection and why I use different shoes for what. But for speed work, either these or Vaporflies. These are the Vaporfly 2s. You can't get these anymore, so don't even try. These are like gold dust. In my opinion, the best ever running shoe. I haven't actually used these. These are brand new, so I'm going to use these today. These could be the new best. But I've worn these, I would say close to, not these specific ones, but this model for like 2,000 kilometers worth of running. And that's not even a joke because I use this shoe for all my marathon training. I run a marathon in these. I then done all my ultra marathon training, and then I done my ultra marathon in Vaporfly 2s. The best shoe ever made, in my opinion. They are the perfect balance between cushion, speed, and durability. Like you could easily get, depending on your running style, 300-400 kilometers out of these before they start to deteriorate. So I'll talk about running shoes later in another vlog. But for now, let's get into it. Oh, hey. Clearly got more balance on my right foot. Right. And what I need to do now is I need to mark out, what was it? Forgot my workout already. Right, let's have a look. So it was, right, 6 times 20 meters and 4 times 40. So I do the 6 first and then the 40 after. So what I need to do is I'm going to just walk and mark out 20 meters. So if I go to my workout, I'm just go outdoor walk. Just use my slider for now. So I need 20 meters. Let's have a look. Right, so it's going to be here. That seems a bit off. I think. So is it? Hang on. Is it that yellow and blue line? Let me have a look. It's a bit slow, this watch. Right, yeah, so that's 20 meters. Right, cool, perfect. So it's going to be from this line to, it's hard to that second running block. It's pretty straightforward. Right, happy days. Let's get into it. So it says 90 seconds rest in between sets, and I don't necessarily need 90 seconds at the minute, so I'm just running and then walking back. After the 40 meter sprint, so I might need it, but I'd rather push myself and then just go from there. The main focus on this part is just explosive. Even if you gain a little bit more pace at the end of the 20 meters, it's short and sharp. So just make sure that like you're fast out of the box, and then give it everything. So this will be my last one for this sprint. Start if you're lucky enough to get a track. Start 5 minutes before, and then you can walk and then get as explosive as you can. So just walk and then the one thing I have found that's rather annoying is I like to track all my runs on the Nike Running Club, but it doesn't let you manually add segments. If you're using Apple Fitness, for example, you can just press the sidebar on your watch it will do the next segment, so you know how the sprints are. I might switch up just so I can give you guys, because let me just right, so if I just end this workout, so this gives me like an 11-minute pace, but that's just because obviously I'm walking back. But average heart rate 130, so ideally that's not really what I want to be seeing information wise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk up there, so I know where the 40-meter mark is. There is a cone down there, so I might move it in my lane, and then I'll use the Apple Watch just so I can do the segments, so I can do the recovery and then the actual pace, because I can't actually tell you the pace right now. So let me work this out. 40 meters, which I know the 20 is up here, so responsive. Just a interval. I've got 10 seconds left, but I'll give you a recap on these shoes when I finish. But we've got two. I'm doing one extra because I feel good, so I'm going to do one more, rest up the other end, and round it off by another one coming back, and then I'll tell you my splits after that. So let's go. The 40 ones get you. Woo. Right. Let's take a breather. Right, end. That is the run done. I want to go through the segments, so I will do that on my phone. The outfit change is because Reflex new collection is out, and it is unbelievable. It's so breathable, so nice. So I had a little t-shirt change in between. We've got some cameras on the go, so loads of content coming. So let's go to my fitness. Whew. Right, let's go to the segments. So it seemed to be that I was going a little bit over, but it doesn't really matter too much. I think the watch isn't, when I press the next segment, when I'm getting to the cone, I don't think it's as instant as it needs to be, but it doesn't matter. So the sprint time in total with the recovery is, I did it in about 7.5 minutes. Average heart rate was 140, which is perfect, because that means that my heart rate's shooting up and it's shooting back down, and I'm getting a good average, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to be looking at your heart rate with sprint intervals and seeing like 170. It just means your body's not recovering. So first segment says I've done 65 meters, which I obviously didn't, but I said I'd done that in 10 seconds, which gave me an average pace of 234 per kilometer. Then I did 1 minute 20 rest, and then I done the next sprint in 8 seconds, which is a 229 per kilometer. And then I had another rest, and then I done a 130 recovery, and then the last sprint was 7 seconds, which gave me a 215 per kilometer pace. So super happy with that run. I'm gonna have to put the, I make a little tracker on my notes app with all my running splits, just so I know for the next week I've got to beat them. Little update though, before I do some more content. The shoes, sensational. Like, honestly, Nike never let me down. Like, I thought, because they feel a bit like, they don't feel as, I don't even know what the right word is, but because they're so thin and so agile, I was worried about ankle roll, but the foot to contact, the foot to ground contact is so responsive. And then obviously, as you can tell, it's got a great amount of support, but not too much. They just felt so fast. Obviously, I'm using these for my speed work. I really want to make sure that I look after these because they're probably aesthetically my favorite looking shoe. And I don't really want to, I have a bad habit of finding, like using a pair of shoes I like and then just running them into the ground and then finding that Nike don't make them anymore, like the Vaporfly 2s. So as much as I want to go and set the world alight with these and go and break my 5K PBs and 10K PBs, which I think I could easily do in these, I'm going to stick to the program. Maybe at the end of the pre-season program, I might go back and revisit some of my PBs and see if I can beat them in these. But for now, these are strictly track work, strictly acceleration work. But these are, I'm going to give them a 10. Like, honestly, they've taken me, the Streakfly 2s. What a sensational pair of trainers. Like, yeah, that I couldn't have gone happier with them. You've obviously see on the bottom of them there, plenty of grip. And I love, I've got quite a wide foot. And these are quite a narrow fit, so I was a little bit cautious of like pain or rubbing, but this Flyknit material at the top, super breathable and super flexible, so very, very happy with these. So that is acceleration work done. The next set of running I will be doing will be the intervals. So this is disgusting. So the next time I'm running, I'm doing 6 400 meters hard with a 90-second rest. This one here is mainly just about explosive acceleration work. You should be able to do this with relatively good ease if you've got a standard level of fitness. The 600 meters one, I mean the 6 times 400 meters one, that is, I don't care how fit you are, that is horrible. But it's good, that's what you want. You want a couple sessions that are horrible when you're off-season builder. So hope you've enjoyed the vlog. I'm going to get back to doing some more content, and then the next vlog you'll see after this will be all about running shoes. I'm going to film it here and I'll post it after this one because I've got a lot of running shoes to talk about, and I think that's one of the biggest problems people don't understand is I've had multiple injuries based off shoes alone, and I know that because when I got my shoe rotation right and I use the right shoes for the right exercises, I've run, as I said, over 2,000 kilometers. Not one injury. So I know it's down to the footwear. I haven't changed my running style. I haven't changed the volume or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this acceleration work. If you'd like to see more of the other sessions on YouTube, let me know. And keep up with the running splits if you want. You can just search my name on Strava. All my workouts linked to Strava so you can see the work I'm doing. And if you want a copy, jump in the comments on Strava or send me them on Instagram and just let me know what you got on the running sessions. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, use code BPS when buying anything on Ghost. See you in the next one. Peace.